Good afternoon, welcome to Berwick Mitsubishi. My name's Mark, and this afternoon I'm going to take you for a walk around probably one of the nicest HSV GTSs I've seen for a long time. 2011 model, it's only done 35,000 kilometres this motor car, and what you're going to see will just prove to you that's exactly why. We start at the front of the car, a few distinct things with the HSV: daytime running lamps. We've got our fog lights directly below that. Finished in jet black, as you can see. This car is virtually unmarked. We've got our air intake on the bonnet. We'll discuss that a little bit further later. As we come down around the driver's side of the car, ideal time of day to be actually filming the video of this car, because the sun's hitting this driver's side. And have a look at the Juco. It is in stunning order. Unmarked alloy wheels on the right hand side of the car. Distinctive chrome exterior mirrors, HSV badging, obviously, Club Sport, I should have said earlier. Really good tyres all round, Dunlop performance tyres all round, plenty of tread on the tyres. And you know, to be quite honest, I struggled to find a mark on this. I've only pulled this car out of the new car showroom purely for the purposes of doing this video, and it'll head straight back in there once we've completed it. As we come around to the rear of the car, a few important things to take note of. Factory spoiler, high mount stoplight, all of our distinctive HSV badging. Really important. It's the R8, 317 kilowatts. We'll talk about that a little bit further. And you know, it's probably never more apt than reading that on the back window of one of these cars, because this car's spot on. Colour-coded reverse sensors, clear tail lights, the twin chrome exhaust tips as well. And you know, honestly, I've had a really good walk around this car, and the only blemish I can find on the entire car is this small scuff mark on the left-hand rear alloy wheel. Probably if I go to the boot, I'll probably find a brand new alloy wheel in there, and why our service department wouldn't have changed it, I'm not sure. And as we scan down the rest of the passenger side, once again, as I say, struggling to find any mark on this car. For a 2011 model, you're not going to see another one in this condition. Not for this age, it's stunning. Round to the front of the HSV now, so let's have a bit of a chat about the performance, and there's plenty of it. Powered by a 6.2 litre V8, this car is going to deliver you 317 kilowatts of power, 550 newton metres of torque. At the same time, it'll give you a combined fuel consumption of 13.7 litres per 100 k's, and I shouldn't really promote this because just being responsible, will get you from 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. 13.7 litres per 100 k's, that's actually really good economy based on the power that this little baby's pumping out. Also, the Club Sports all have a build number from factory because they're limited edition, so there's our build number as well. A stack of performance sitting under this bonnet. Round to the rear of the clubby now, so just a flick on the remote button, both factory keys, as you can see. It is important. Really good storage area in the back. I'll have to take back what I said about our service department. That's why they didn't put this spare wheel onto that left-hand rear, because the spare is a black alloy. Brand new tyre, has never been on the car, so in perfect condition. I'm quite sure why the spare's black, but we'll work that out another time. Here we are inside the clubby now, and we'll just run through the features. The highlight of this car, as I mentioned, 35,000 k's. Look at the condition of it, it's like new. As a rule, I'll jump straight into one of these and use it as my drive car whenever we get them. Made the decision to ground this one in the showroom from the day it arrived. Starting on our steering wheel, You notice on our indicator stalk here we've got our factory cruise control. Past there, auto headlights will turn themselves on automatically as it gets dark at night time. Our steering wheel is height and reach adjustable. Set ourselves up where we're nice and comfy, lock her away into position, and we're ready to go. On the right hand side of our steering wheel, a few buttons here. We've got our volume for our stereo. Also, that is the Bluetooth button. Simply depress on the knob if the phone's ringing, and you just pick up your call. We've got our navigation button here as well. It does have satellite navigation factory. And our button up the top here just feeds us all of our performance, what the car's doing. I'll show you that in a minute. On the left hand side, our trip computer and our audio buttons, just to change between mode, either radio or CD, or even stored music for that matter. Does also have Bluetooth streaming, so you've got every option there. Premium sound system. And the one to our left is just to change between stations or tracks, depending on what mode of music we're listening to. Over into the centre section now, there's a fair amount of information we'll run through here. Obviously just our battery charging, oil pressure and so on, our dials at the top. We move down into the multi-function screen, and as I mentioned, we have our button on our steering wheel which will change the position and the readouts of the car, basically giving us performance, brake and acceleration, showing us where we're at, where we're changing through the gears, at what revs. We can move into power and torque. It'll just feed us the information about how the car's performing, how we're driving it. Fuel economy will read out the past 125 kilometres at any given point in time. Let's have a look what the previous owner was like. Yeah, you know, give it a squirt every now and then. That part of the section is in lap mode. That would be more so if you're in a controlled driving environment. Say we want to take the car to Sandown, if you get the opportunity, you would utilise these particular sections of the performance indicators. Gives us stability control readout, also G-force, dynamics of the car. So a lot of information in there. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we've got navigation as well. We also do have reverse camera. Have a look at the clarity of the picture. Perfect. It's probably one of the highest quality reverse cameras, or this particular unit in the actual Club Sport is just everything about it spot on. Our distinctive R8 badging. Then below that we have our master controls for our stereo, and below that again all of our controls for our climate control, dual zone air conditioning and heating. With the Club Sport, drive it as a normal auto if you want to. You do have a button to turn traction control off if you wish. More importantly, and this is the sort of car you're going to utilise this function, flick across to the left and you're now into sports shift. Okay, enables us to change through the gears manually, just off the actual stalk itself. And in this sort of car, yeah, it's designed to be driven like that sort of car performance. Directly behind that, all of our controls for our exterior mirrors, our power windows, little coin tray there, cup holders directly behind that, and then of course inside our console lid, a 12-volt outlet there, and then we've also got our USB input as well. So if you're running your audio streaming through your phone, just run your plug for your phone off that little input jack there, and it'll just feed you the track, title and artist of what you're actually playing. The other thing that's really important as we just scan around the car, full leather interior of course, being an R8 Club Sport, factory car mats, our door trims. As I mentioned, everything about this car, it's super hard to pick a mark anywhere on it. Super impressive. It's actually, I've got to say, it's a credit to the previous owner, because the way this car presents, you know what, it's not likely that we make the decision to just roll a used car directly into the new car showroom, being obviously a Mitsubishi dealer. But this particular car, it just does it justice running it straight in there, because it is spot on. Obviously servicing, there hasn't been a lot of servicing required so far in its life. 14,000 k service, 30,000 k service, and obviously we're only at 35,000 Ks right now. So the only other thing to touch on is airbag safety. Obviously we have front, side and curtain airbags. So from a safety point of view, an extremely safe performance motor car. So in summary, one of the best examples of a 2011 HSV CLUBSPORT that you're ever going to see. 317 kilowatts of power, pushing out 550 Newton meters of torque, still delivering 13.7 litres per 100 Ks, none to 100 in 4.9 seconds. Everything about this car screams quality. 6 airbags, 5-star ANCAP safety rating, only 35,000 Ks. You know what, it might have been a cliche when they brought these out, I just want one. If you're watching the video of this car, you're going to want it. Feel free to give us a call on 9907 0555 because that is your car.